Penniless beautician sues secret wife of her dead accountant husband, who married them both in Las Vegas after accusing her of plundering his £1.8 million estate. A penniless beautician is suing her late husband's secret wife after accusing her of plundering his £1.8 million estate to stop her getting his fortune. Millionaire bigamist accountant James Dinsdale died of cancer aged 55 in October 2020, leaving behind a vast fortune, which is now at the center of a bitter inheritance row between two women he married in Las Vegas 5 years apart. The two wives are dentist Dr. Victoria Fowle, who he wed in Nevada Desert City in 2012, and Margaret Dinsdale, who he married in 2017 without getting a divorce in between. So when he died from a heart attack in 2020, while also suffering from prostate cancer, Mr. Dinsdale's estate was a convoluted legal mess exacerbated because he was intestate, meaning he didn't leave a will. Beautician Mrs. Dinsdale, who cared for her husband 24 hours a day in his final days, was rocked to discover he was still legally married to cosmetic dentist Dr. Fowle, making their marriage void and leaving her with no automatic right to inherit. The 41-year-old only discovered Mr. Dinsdale had a secret wife when she began sorting out his affairs on the assumption that she would inherit his fortune as his next of kin. 5 years earlier, in 2012, James had married dentist Dr. Fowle, 53, on the same Las Vegas street, but never divorced her, making her heir to his £1.8 million fortune under intestacy laws. Mrs. Dinsdale's rights as spouse were formally recognized by a judge in July, and she is now bringing a substantial claim to part of his wealth under the Inheritance Act. But last week she returned to London's High Court, claiming Dr. Fowle has plundered the £1.8 million estate to stop her getting his fortune and seeking to freeze all Dr. Fowle's assets. Her barrister, Gideon Roseman, told Mr. Justice Mann that Dr. Fowle treated the estate as if she is solely entitled to it, claims strongly denied by the dentist. The court heard Mr. Dinsdale, an accountant and World War II history expert, built a thriving property development business based around central London before he died. He wed Dr. Fowle, a St. Albans-based dentist with an expertise in cosmetic smile makeovers, in 2012, but the pair never got divorced, and he went on to marry Margaret Dinsdale in 2017. Margaret and James became friends after meeting in 2008, before beginning a romantic relationship in 2014, setting up home together the following year. Margaret's wedding took place at the Chapel of Flowers on Las Vegas Boulevard, while Dr. Fowle had married James 5 years earlier and 600 meters away at the Little White Wedding Chapel. However, Margaret had no inkling that James was still married when they tied the knot in 2017, only learning of it after his tragic death from cancer. And because he had not made a will, James' money would be divided between Dr. Fowle and his son, William Dinsdale, 28, under intestacy rules. Margaret says she married James in good faith, on the understanding that his marriage to Dr. Fowle had ended some time before their wedding. She ended up looking after him 24 hours per day during his final struggles with terminal cancer and was his primary carer, having given up work and become a housewife while he provided for her financially. Margaret's barrister, Mr. Roseman, told the court his client is living on universal credit and raising a small child while at the same time highlighting Dr. Fowle's relative affluence, running a successful dental practice and owning her own property. With Margaret now pursuing a claim to a hefty slice of James' £1.8 million fortune under the 1975 Inheritance Act, it was essential that Dr. Fowle be prevented from dissipating money from his estate to ensure there is something left in the pot for Margaret, he told the court. Urging Mr. Justice Mann to grant the freezing order, he explained. In the absence of the order being granted, the claimant will be left with a paper judgment. Dr. Fowle will have successfully plundered the estate and will, no doubt, have hidden or dissipated both the assets of the estate and her personal assets. Dr. Fowle, while executing James' estate, had plowed through much of his fortune, with only some £17,000 left sitting in her solicitor's account, with the whereabouts of the remaining assets largely a mystery, said the barrister. Dr. Fowle, as the personal representative of the estate of Mr. Dinsdale, has plundered the estate, breached every court order notwithstanding a penal notice, for the provision of information and documentation concerning the same, and has admitted to paying to herself around £400,000 out of the estate's monies, he claimed. The dentist treated the estate as if she is solely entitled to the same, and is now seeking to hide the money she has received from the estate. He added, she had gone on to sell 2 of the properties left